Same.
Now I've got to open the YouTube chat and I got to open your
yeah,
chat.
that's helpful.
Yeah, it's good to be able to see what the people are saying.
Sorry.
It's okay. The people are saying, Joe,
I'm
you're already
awake.
boring. You're boring, Cleo. Stop.
Yeah, that's exactly what your channel is saying.
Yeah.
Of course.
Clearly.
That's clearly what they're saying.
Yeah.
No one in my channel is saying anything yet.
It's
but
deafening.
Maybe they can't.
Yeah, maybe you can't hear them
The
because
silence
of the
is deafening.
Yeah.
That's okay. There we go. Daffy Lizard Chunk says hi, Cleo, and hi, Joe.
Hi, Daffy
Hello.
Lizard Chunks. Hope you're doing well.
That's a name. I'm not sure what kind of name, but it's definitely a name.
Yeah, Daffy is one of those words that we don't use anymore now that it's like a duck, you know?
I didn't know it was a word.
Oh, yeah, no, like Daffy Duck was like Tiny Tim, but we still use Tiny.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, yeah, cool. How I'm doing, chat? The pun title makes you cat. Like, here's the thing. Like, the sushimi rolling, right? I thought it was like a case of that's sushi rolls, but my brain was just like, no, the better pun is sashimi rolling, because that's much better.
Sashimi rolling.
But I didn't know if sashimi came in rolls. That's my problem.
Oh, okay.
So I went with sushimi rolling because, yeah, because I don't think sashimi comes in rolls.
That's okay.
And I know sushi does. I'm sure somebody will tell me if I'm wrong or not. Buffalo Girl has resubscribed for 10 months. Thank you.
Ooh.
And Cam resubscribed for 29 months when I was offline.
Yay. Stealth Cam.
I mean, he's not that stealthy, to be honest.
Not that stealthy, Cam, to be honest. Oh, you know what else we have, Cleo?
Oh no, what else do we have, Joe?
We have an actual theme song we can play.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We forgot to play it last week.
We do.
Okay.
That's the thing that we have. Okay,
Yeah.
give me a second.
Okay. Let me open it. Let's see. Where is it? Is this it? July 9th, 29th. Is this a... That's a PNG file. Dang it, where did I put this? I am the worst at... Oh, wait, is this it?
The 12th.
Oh, I
saw...
Yeah, hold on, I'm working on it. Downloads.
Yeah, we have a theme song. It's very 80s, love it.
Yeah, hold on. Where is my... No, don't install app. Downloads. Show in folder.
I'll wait for Joe.
I don't know how I'm so bad at this. Did I just play it in the email? I can't... What? How did I lose these?
Joe's quiet. Okay, I can
Yeah,
make Joe
you can turn me up.
That's because he was incredibly loud on the Hermitcraft meeting, and I don't know why that was.
Oh, because I was on a different microphone.
That'd be it. That'd be the one.
Okay, I've got the... Oh, here it is. Crafting with Cleo 80s Mix Final. Maybe
yes.
This... Okay. Tell me when.
3, 2, 1, go.
Crafting with Joe and Cleo. Crafting crafts. Haggis.
Here we go. Yay. Song.
Yay!
Cleo's peeking through Joe's Discord, but fine on her stream. Maybe check that. I can turn Cleo down in Discord and up in OBS, maybe.
I mean, probably. You can do whatever you like on your stream, Joe. That's what we know.
Yeah.
That was incredible. It was incredible, right?
Actually, Cleo, can you turn yourself down in Discord? I think your Discord microphone sending to me might be too high, because I'm looking at it, and my user volume for you is not too high. In fact, it's been lowered. Your Discord broadcast or transmit volume might be, like, really high.
Oh, I don't...
Is it?
Okay, it's That is, I mean, I'm on a different mic, so that might be it.
That's probably it. Yeah, just turn it down a little, maybe 20% of where you're at, or by 20% of where you're
Okay.
at.
Is that okay?
Go ahead and keep talking for a minute.
I am Cleo, and I'm here, and I'm talking, and I just want to make sure I don't get cut off.
You sound good
Although
to
that's
me. Although
part of the charm.
people are saying that are watching your stream and listening to mine, though, that it sounds like you're actually even talking through a different mic. Can you check that your Discord mic is set to your good one and not your laptop mic
Oh.
or something?
Oh.
Was that it?
That was it.
That was it. Okay.
That was it.
Woo! We're ready to go. Tell me when you're ready to roll. I got sushi, baby. To put your mind at ease, baby.
Okay. What am I doing? I am doing my bullet journal, as I always do on a Wednesday with Joe, because it's the only time in my life I have to do to make sure I'm organised.
Woo!
And then I make it pretty as well.
And pretty.
Organised. Yep.
Okay. So I'm now that we've got everything working perfectly over here, I'm gonna move to the other microphone and we get to do this again. Yeah.
Woohoo! Professional.
Professional streamers, making sure my levels are right tonight. Is that okay?
Oof.
The tonight was too loud. I can turn it down.
No, it wasn't too loud. It was just shrill.
Well,
I'm
it was not. That was the mic was working.
The mic was working. You were also working. Sad to say.
Yeah, working it. Okay. So, Canna Rush has a question about pirates. I want to hear a little bit about your Pirates SMP stream, because you're doing that, or you're doing the stream Mondays, or is it like
I am doing the stream Mondays.
Mm-hmm.
These are the planned days. Mondays, Sundays, and Fridays.
Ah, and this is a streaming only server.
Yes, it's streaming only.
Mm-hmm.
It might change later in the season depending on what happens.
Mm-hmm.
But those are my planned days because I do not want to get left behind because it moves fast.
Gotcha.
I've played MMOs before. I know that you have to log on daily to do your quests.
Oh, is it have like MMO elements, like with quests and stuff?
I mean, like there are quests in it, and I can go out and you get 4 daily quests, and it affects how much money you make. And I went and did my quest yesterday, even though I didn't stream, and I made a bunch of money. So,
so there's money in this server. Is it stored as a value, like, you know, where you see like a dollar sign in the right corner, or is it like straight up like coins in your inventory?
It's a case of it's stored as a bank balance, which you just do /bank balance, and it will tell you how much money you have. At one point, I had $0. But now I have 1,000.
Ooh, that sounds like more.
That is more. It's not enough to buy anything good.
What would be an example of something good? Can you buy a boat?
Like a diamond chest plate.
Oh, not a boat.
Not a boat. Boats you get for free. But
I wasn't sure if you could get like upgraded boats because it's a pirate server.
We can upgrade our boats and then get level. There are tiers of boat. Like the boat mechanics are not fully in specifically yet because the NPCs that sell all the boat stuff have not been put in the game yet because they're still testing that. So I've got my little rubbish boat, and I mean we're only allowed to go like 3,000 miles out at the moment before our boat breaks. But that's basically what they're doing is they're gatekeeping the story behind how much your boat won't break. So if you go too far out, you're in deep water.
Is a very measurable means. I love it.
Yeah, your boat will. This has already happened to me once.
Because you went too far.
Well, no, like it's like we're in the lukewarm ocean, and if you go to the deep ocean, your boat will break. And I clipped the edge of the deep ocean on my way to a quest, and my boat broke, and I got eaten by sharks.
Oh, they're sharks! Wow.
They're called giant threshers. there are also whales off my faction docks as well.
Mm-hmm.
They're always there. So, I mean, it's good. It's good level design. I'm very proud of it myself.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't do anything to do with it. I just broke it. Technically, just one shark I was eaten by. All right, shut up.
They didn't share.
I think one's enough. Okay.
Yeah, they're not sharks.
Oh God, Joe.
You're welcome, Zombie Cleo.
I know, that's the worst part.
Yay.
But yes, I am very excited to be playing. And also, my boat's name is the Bully.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. It's tiny and small and you know, it's quite tough considering what I put it through.
Mm-hmm.
Bully seemed appropriate. And also, I had already planned for that as well as part of character backstory.
Woo!
Right?
Backstory. Woo!
Also, my character is drinks more than their weight in beer every day.
Mm-hmm.
So, Reginald Wen, never tasked. That was a different SMP. Thank you, NJ, who has resubscribed for 29 months and says, good morning, good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so the theme of this month is, as you may have guessed, sushi.
Sushi, yay.
Sushi.
Sushi. I don't know, I'm just making bird noises. Because birds eat fish? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm still waking up.
But sushi doesn't have to be fish, is the thing.
Oh.
Sushi is the name for the rice, not the fish. So...
Oh, that's fair.
More doubloons means more ingredients to make beer. I found a way to make the really good beer as well. Because they're selling honeycomb in the shop for me. So the one that increases your saturation and makes it so you can just run forever. That's the beer that I'm after. So mead. I don't know. It's got an apple and it's got bread in it. So honey, bread, and apples. Beer. It's not great. It's not great. Not gonna lie, it's not great.
Okay, so I'm working on getting this layout kind of consolidated. I don't know. I think it might not be the right word.
Getting it ready.
Yeah,
go.
Yeah, it really. I need to have this like measured and ready to lay out.
This needs to be done like last week.
I know. It's just been a really tough week.
I'm aware.
Oh, you know what though? For the benefit of the chat though.
For the benefit of the chat, let's talk about Joe's
Oh my
week.
gosh. Yeah. So last Tuesday, and I actually still have the bumper in the studio here because where else would I put it? So I'll just hold that up for my viewers.
Arguably true.
Yeah, I mean it's here. I have it. So yeah, last week I got rear-ended on the interstate. No one was hurt, but it was a whole thing.
You say no one was hurt. You can be hurt in other ways than physical.
Okay, no, but nobody was medically injured. I feel like that's important to say at the beginning of a story like this because people will be worried or stressed out, otherwise. But yeah, so the other driver told the police they had insurance. And so when I called my insurance company, they were like, okay, well, just open, because the other driver's clearly at fault because they rear-ended you. You just file the claim through their insurance and let us know if you run into any issues. I'm like, okay, cool. So I call up their insurance company, and they're just like, that person doesn't have coverage with us. And I'm like, wait, what? The police report says they do. And they're like, well, that's inaccurate. And I'm like, great, so what do I do now? And they're just like, that's not really our problem. And so I call my insurance company back and I'm like, hey, remember when you said if anything came up to let you know? So the other company says that they don't have coverage for this person. And my insurance company is like, well, okay, you have uninsured driver coverage. So you will be covered if the other person doesn't have insurance. However, we don't provide that coverage if the other person does have insurance. Okay, that's why it's called uninsured motorist coverage, because it only covers you if the other motorist is uninsured. And what we have in our possession is a police report that says the other motorist is insured.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, so now I have to go, what do I do? Because, okay, so here's part of the problem, is the other person driving the car wasn't the owner of the car. And so I'm not saying that this person lied to the police necessarily. I'm saying they handed the police the insurance information that was in the glove box and didn't necessarily know that the other person had stopped paying it, right? I'm not trying to ascribe any sort of malice or anything to this other driver.
He will, though.
Cleo is furious. So, anyway, so then I had to... So I'm like, well, what do I do? And they're like, well, the other company needs to give us a letter that says this person isn't covered. And then we'll override the police report in our system. And I'm like, okay. So I call back the other company, and the first person, and I'm talking to a different intake person. And I'm like, hey, I need to file a claim with my insurance company because y'all won't let me file a claim because the person apparently doesn't have coverage, but I need to prove they don't have coverage, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, okay, so the way we do that, I can't actually give you that letter that says we don't have coverage for this person because I'm just on intake. I can open a claim for you that will be rejected on the grounds that that person doesn't have coverage with us, but an assessor has to process that claim. I can just take the information down. So then I spent like 40 minutes describing the accident, sending photos of the accident, all this stuff to a company that has already told me they're not going to pay for this. Just so that they can investigate the accident and go, yep, that's not our problem. Here, that is in writing.
Oh, God.
So, anyway, a lot of my week that I had set aside for creative stuff like working on the layout got eaten up by this. Now, I still managed to get an episode out the door, because I sadly I had to miss your Monday stream so that I could focus on editing. I'm trying to get back in a once a week schedule or so. So anyway, it's not like this week was a total loss. I got stuff done. I did some streams. We had a stream day, but I've been going back and forth with the insurance companies about all this stuff. And so my insurance company, I got sent a PDF from the other driver's insurance company, or supposed insurance company, saying, hey, we've investigated the claim. This person definitely isn't covered. This is your problem. And I'm like, thank you. Now that I have a letter that says this is my problem, I can take that to my insurer.
Take it and make it my problem.
Yeah. So I took it to my insurer, and they're like, okay, great. We won't be able to give you, basically at this point, they're like, okay, so we need you to bring your car in to a collision center so we can assess it and either start repairs or scrap it. And so I'm like, okay. So I emptied out everything from the car and made sure that it still started. And yesterday I drove over to the collision center for my appointment, and it was a little terrifying because I haven't driven the car since the accident, and the car was pretty beat up. Like, the bumper is gone. Like, it's in rough shape. So I was just like, I just got to get, like, I'm not gonna say exactly how far away it was, but it was like 3 to 5 miles, you know?
Oh yeah, I've been in that sort of situation before.
Where I'm just like, I just got to get across town. I just got to get this collision center across town. It's gonna be fine. But like the whole way, I'm like, if I'm in another accident right now, this car is probably not safe. Like,
yeah.
So I got there, and I'm talking to the assessor, and he's like, okay, well, let's go take a look at the car. We start walking around it, and Oh, one thing that was weird. Let me back up. So I come in and I'm
Okay.
like, I'm a little early because I wasn't sure. I was a little worried the car might break down on the way here, and I
Yeah.
might need to be towed to the appointment. So I wanted to, so I'm a little early. Can you let the assessor know I here whenever? And the receptionist like, yeah, sure. Just have a seat and he'll be over to talk to you shortly. So the assessor comes through the outside door, not from one
Oh,
of.
good. Yeah.
And so
That's
I'm
weird.
like, oh, maybe I'm cutting off his lunch. I feel bad about that. Like maybe he was taking an early lunch and I'm 10 minutes early and he's rushing over. I feel bad about that. Whatever.
Yeah.
So, he's like, okay, let's go out and look at your car. And he opens up, I'm like, here's the hatchback is definitely damaged. The doors are definitely overlapping the sides of the car a little bit. That seems bad. But, I'm hoping it's not such severe frame damage it can't be fixed. And he's like, okay. He, like, lifts up the thing that covers the wheel well for the spare tire. And he's just like, okay, you see here, 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 and here. The trunk is compressed by 3 inches. It wasn't really obvious to you because you didn't lift this up, but, like, yeah.
Yeah.
And then he opens the doors and he starts pointing at, like, parts along the frame, and he's like, it doesn't look too bad from the outside, but if you look at this, look at this, look at this. And I'm like, okay, so, I mean, it's still drivable. I drove it over here. Any chance that this can be repaired? And he's just like, I will run the numbers, but I don't think it's likely. So that's going to take me 30 to 45 minutes. I want you. Did you bring the title to the car with you? I was like, no, they told me bring my registration and my driver's license. And he's like, well, if the car is totaled, you're going to need to sign the title over to the insurance company. And so why don't you go home and get the title while I run the numbers? And I'm like, okay.
And at that point, you realised, oh no.
Well, I wasn't gonna drive in the car again.
Yeah.
Because, like, the guy was just basically like, because I had asked him, I was like, is there any way? Because he also was like, you can technically buy it back from us if it's totaled, and get it fixed yourself. And I'm like, well, if it's driving now, how unsafe is it for myself or passengers? He's like, this is a death trap. You cannot buy this back and drive it around. If you were buying this back, it would be because you personally knew how to replace the frame on a car and you were going to do that, or you knew your brother owns a body shop or something, right?
Right.
It is not that this is more damage than you would be able to deal with, so I'm like, great. So we were in the waiting room, and he grabs his laptop from his car, and he's like, yeah, I really want to get this knocked out all today, because I'm actually covering for somebody else.
Oh, good.
I'm not normally working out of Nashville, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. And he's just like, okay, so I'm gonna, when you get back, just come knock on the window of my car. I'll be in there running the numbers. And I'm like, what?
Jeez.
They're not letting you use the other guy's office? And he's like, no, I'm working out of my car. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I get a lift home, find the title, which I was pretty sure I knew where it was. Okay. And the reason I was pretty sure I knew where it wasn't like, oh, I know which shelf in a stack of mail I left that. I actually was like, I'm pretty sure it's in this particular folder in the filing cabinet in the top drawer. I knew exactly which folder it was in. I knew exactly which drawer it was in. But that folder, I go to pull it out, and there's like 400 sheets of paper in there. It's just labeled auto, and it's everything for the car for the last for the last 14 years. And the title is not it's not an 8.5 by 11 A4 type sheet of paper. It's like the size of it's smaller than this cutting board by like a lot. It's a certificate. And I'm just like, I know it's in here somewhere. I just start flipping through, and luckily not luckily, it was intentionally, it was in there. It was not in the very front or the very back, though. It was just randomly between some other car repair receipts, right? But I get it back, so I take a lift back to the place, and I'm just like going up and knocking on the window, and I'm like, okay, so what's the deal? And he's like, yeah, it's definitely totaled. We can't give you the full amount today because they're still processing. They need to basically go verify that the letter I sent them from the other insurance company is real.
Yeah. No, that's
just to make sure that I'm not committing insurance fraud rather than going through the other company, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
So they are. So he's like, okay, I can't give you all the money today, but I can cut you a check for some of it. We just need to sign over the title, and like, but the thing is, though, like, I'm standing like at his car window, like
That's
a car hop.
wild.
Like, I'm standing, like, and I feel like I should be like, and here's your Coke and your fries. And it's like, it was, and so, but like, yeah, I'm just standing there for 5 minutes in the, like, 90-degree sun in a parking lot in Tennessee, talking to this guy who's, like, got a printer in the passenger seat of his car.
Jeez.
And, like, I'm just, it was so surreal. Yeah, eventually he's like, okay, so we need to sign this, sign over the title. Let's go use the back. So we're using the trunk of the car.
Sign over the title to some random dude in a car.
Yeah, and I'm like, the thing is, like, in fairness, it was a car that had, like, all the livery of the insurance company on it. It was, like, not just, like, a magnet, but it was, like, fully painted with, like, insurance company logo, colors, and stuff. And also, I'm like, technically, I could see, he had all the information from the insurance company.
Yeah.
Like, but I was, in the back of my head, like, if I was a con artist who was, like, intercepting car titles, this is how I would do it. Like, this is, like, a perfect setup. Where it's, like, you've got the car that looks official, but, like, I'm filling in for this other guy. It's like, are you? And I'm, like, giving away the title to my car and the keys to my car. But, like, also, the car is, like, the damage he was pointing out does look really bad. I believe him that the car is totaled. But I'm also, and I'm like, well, I got an email from the insurance company with the name he gave me on it. So if this is, like, a man-in-the-middle attack, this is really sophisticated. But I was very... It put me in a weird place. I was like, I'm not happy about this. It's a good con setup. I'm like, well, and the thing is too, like, I've heard of stories like, there's this guy who does a programming podcast. He actually made a bunch of you know what? Sometimes when you open a game and there's a bunch of logos at the beginning for, like, Rad Game Design tools or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy who founded Rad Game Design does a podcast where he talks about programming. But he was saying that he was buying a house, and they said the realtor sent over the information about where to wire the money to close on the deal, and he replied to that email with no problem. Where do we park for the signing? And then the realtor replies, park over here, that sort of thing. So what he didn't realize was the reply from the realtor with the parking information had different numbers in where to wire the money. Because somebody had hacked the realtor's computer and was just waiting for a big house purchase like this.
Jesus.
But like, this person had, like, scoped out everything and, like, gave them legitimately, like, good parking information. But so anyway, he didn't notice that in the replied message that, because how you scroll up and you see, like, the previous parts or whatever? Yeah, so the numbers were different for where to wire the money. So he wired, like, millions of dollars to a scammer who had just hacked the realtor's computer. And no, this ended up being this whole thing where, like, he ended up, like, talking, because he's really rich and important. He ended up, like, talking to, like, a senator about, like, laws around, like, requirements for IT security in, like, realty, because financial institutions like banks have a lot of high IT requirements, but, like, realtors are just, like, people who've lived there for a while who like have a
Yeah.
laptop and maybe an office, right? Their laptops are just some random Windows thing that is no, you know, no security. So yeah. So anyway, I was like thinking about this where I'm like, okay, if I'm screwing this up here, if I accidentally give the car and the title to the wrong person, how bad is that? And I'm like, it's arguably pretty bad, but like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, the car is ruined. So, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I think I just have to accept the risk reward here. Like,
Yeah.
but like the other, but the other thing too is, so the guy prints me off the check, and he's just like, okay, so this is after bank stop with Bank of America, so you can deposit it today, but you can't cash it today because it won't clear until overnight. And I'm just like looking at it, I'm like, this is a check dated today. Is it a check dated today or is it not? Because I'm pretty sure that that's not a thing. And so I went over to my bank after this, and I was like,
Yeah.
hey, they said this, and I don't know about that. I don't need to pull the money out today anyway. But, like, is that a thing? And they're like, no, that guy doesn't know what he's talking about. This is a check dated today. But, like, this whole time, I'm like, that's the sort of thing a con man would say, like, don't cash this today. Give me 24 hours to get out of the city, you know?
Yeah.
So, so the check cleared. It was a real check, and I think the guy really did work for my insurance company, but like the whole thing was just really weird and stressful. And like, yeah, and then I was
I
like,
mean, that explains yesterday's.
yeah, well, like, because I warned
Yeah.
Cleo, I'm like, Cleo, I am super stressed out about all this stuff, and I'm kind of a mess right now. Hopefully I'll be fine for the stream tomorrow, but like, yeah, so it's like I go through all this stuff, and I'm like, and so there was just a lot going on yesterday. And speaking of which, let me check on. Oh, we actually I got a tip that I need to acknowledge. Thank you very much to, it's not showing up on my email. Shifty Pumpkin, who says your car has been crushed into a cube. You have 30 minutes to move your cube. So thank you. Thank you, Shifty Pumpkins, for the $30. We're gonna rotate the camera 30 degrees angular. Do.
And thank you, Paleo.
One
for
for every
25
minute
month
you're
resub.
allowing me to move my cube. Okay.
Thank you, Paleo.
Yep. Yeah, talking of alarm bells, here's a PayPal notification. Thank you, Patrick. Yeah, so anyway, so I was exhausted from dealing with that situation, even though it turned out kind of okay. Realistically, I was really hoping to have the car repaired by mid-September.
Oh, I know.
I was
I
counting
know.
on that. And realistically, I'm not going to be able to afford to replace the car in the next year. Like, so... Yeah, so I was kind of stressed out last night, because I was also, like, really surprised, like, how upset I was that they couldn't fix the car, because, like, normally if I kind of can prepare myself for some bad news, you know, I'm pretty okay when it actually happens, but, like, I don't know. I think there's, like, I don't know what the longest time you've owned the same car for, Cleo?
My car is currently an 07 reg, which would make it math. Come on, TCG math skills. You can do this.
23 minus 7 would be 16?
Yes, 16 years.
Yeah. Like, yeah, because I had this car for 14 years. And so, like, you know, you kind of get used to having something like that.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
It's just useful to have around. Really.
Yeah. But, like, I was just more upset last night than I expected to be. Because, like, I was just like, I've had this car for over half my life. And I was hoping to keep it running for at least a few more years. Because my thought
Yeah.
was, once Corinne is old enough to start learning to drive, I should probably get a new car that's got more modern safety features, you know?
Yeah.
Because by that
seems fair.
point, by the time she's old enough to drive in 5 years, this car would have been 19 years old, which is not new by any means.
No.
But I was hoping to drive this car for a while, and so it's stressful. But
Yeah.
you know, there's no short-term emergency around it. There are going to be some expenses because, like, stuff where I was planning on, like, driving myself, I'm going to have to, you know, figure out all the other options and things. But, like, day to day, we can get anywhere we absolutely need to go on the bus or on foot. And,
Yeah.
yeah, but we'll figure it out.
It's not fine, but it's okay.
It will be fine. And that's the thing too, is this was kind of like heartbreaking when I told Corinne about the accident. I started by saying, okay, Corinne, you know, something kind of upsetting happened, but everything's okay. So I want to tell you what happened, but I don't want you to stress out too much, okay? She's like, okay. And so, you know, I explained what happened with the car accident in detail and everything. And I get to the end of the story and I'm like, okay, so do you have any questions or thoughts about this? You know, what do you know, and she's just like, why did you say everything was okay if the car was ruined at the end of the story? And I was just like, oh no, she spent the whole story like waiting to hear how I somehow magically fixed this. And I was just like, well, it was okay because, like, nobody lost an arm, or, you know, like, it was okay because if the airbag had gone off, I would have hit the car in front of me too, instead of steering off the road so nobody else was hurt. And they're not having, if I had hit the car in front of me, it was like a long line of cars backed up for construction traffic. This could have been a 3 to 5 car incident instead of a 2-car incident. Like, I saved a few other people the trouble of dealing with this, as well as possibly my own health. I probably would not have died if the airbag had gone off and I hit the car in front of me, but I would have been probably injured. Like, that could have, sometimes airbags break arms. Like, not often,
absolutely.
but, like, I mean, it was potentially a very dangerous situation where no one was hurt at the end of it. But yeah, I just, like,
she was expecting super dad.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I'm still pretty proud of myself for getting off the road and not hitting the car ahead of me. Like, so.
Oh yeah,
I'm calling that a win. But yeah, I felt bad when she asked that, because it's like, whew, because the world can be so much worse is the answer. You know, like, oh boy. But yeah. Let's see. Looks like we got another tip rolling in. We got 10 from Canna Russia. Okay, let me expand this so I can read the whole message. Thank you, Canna Russia, for the 10. Who says, I've almost been a victim of wire fraud before. Yeah, it's scary how, like, much somebody can do if they're, like, get between you and somebody else. And Canna Russia writes, so I commiserate with the rightful paranoia. Also, I hope last we... Okay, for some reason, the PayPal app has started cutting the text off of the ends of the longer messages, and I don't know why. Also, I have last weekend helped your financial situation. I don't know what else is after the ... in situation. I'm guessing it's an N. But, yeah, so thank you, Canna Russia, for the 10. Let's rotate that. And I can talk about a little bit where we are there as well. But first, let me thank Lunasa for sending one who says, how do you send good vibes to you in chat? Oh, no, their name isn't Lunasa. They're saying today is Lunasa, the Celtic holiday of the first harvest, as of sundown last night till sundown tonight. So what's the name of the person? Ad Astra. Thank you, Ad Astra. I don't know why PayPal keeps moving a bunch of stuff around in the alerts. So it's going to bring us up to 41. So thank you, Ad Astra.
Thank you, Shifty, for the £30 and says, they say brevity is the soul of wit. I appreciate Shifty. Thank you very much for the tip.
Yeah, so if
Very
somebody's
nice.
message says, like, it's blah, 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 I assume blah, blah, blah is the name they want to be referred to by. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I get
Like,
that.
it's Lunasa. Oh, thank you, Lunasa. Thank you for the holiday money, though, at Astra. I get it now. Okay, so to answer Canna Russia's question about the financial situation, the problem with the financial situation was that now that I'm not doing the freelance work, I was losing about $2,000 a month in revenue from that, and at the same time, tips dropped by over $1,000 a month, if not more. Well, over means if not more, but you know what I mean. So basically, my revenue was way down. I was hoping that I could reinvest some of the time that I had been spending on freelance work on making the channel better and more successful. However, there were two problems with that. One of them was I didn't understand how things were going to change in terms of tips as people started vacationing, coming out of pandemic not traveling. And the second was I tried to save $5,000 by doing my own immigration paperwork for my fiance. So my original plan was, okay, once I quit this freelance thing, I'll put all that time and energy into the channel. And then that time and energy for several months, like 5 months, went into trying to get this immigration stuff processed, which if I had gotten it right on my own would have saved us $5,000. But it didn't. So I ended up having to pay an attorney like $5,000, and I had wasted 5 months. So that meant that the channel wasn't getting better either. So basically, the weekend helped, but the problems are
The problems persist.
yeah, and I don't have final numbers on how screwed I am because I'm trying to get those ready for the August 19th community meeting with I do a quarterly meeting every 3 months with my Discord community, and we talk about like where everything's going, where things are, that sort of thing. So I'm going to have harder numbers prepared for that. I will say 600 extra a month from Patreon does not hurt. That is very, very good, but we're not talking about, hey guys, I'm down 600 a month. We're talking about, hey guys, I'm down at least 3 to 4 grand a month. You know, and so yeah, the large amount of tips that came in during the stream weekend helped, but we've had big tipping days before that then are immediately followed by tipping droughts. So that's not dependable from a business planning standpoint. The extra 600 a month in Patreon contributions, if those folks stick around, that will make a much bigger dent and be much more helpful for long-term planning. But at the end of the day, I still need to be doing things differently than I was doing them, basically.
You don't need to make some decisions.
Yeah. Bees says, why is he talking about money right now? Oh, because somebody asked, and I answer questions when people ask them. But
I mean, that is rude of you. That's the thing you should stop doing.
yeah. You know what? I'm not even sure if that's actually bees. I might just ban this person for impersonation because I don't know. Is this actually bees? Could be. Could not be. Who knows? We'll let that sit for a while. Okay. Core concept. Yeah, it was a good weekend, but a good weekend isn't necessarily a solution. And I'm working on solutions in parallel, aided by that good weekend. The money I got from the car liquidation is also a Band-Aid, because part of the problem is I was planning on using the car to help make money in the long term. By doing more events and getting some... I was in the process of trying to figure out how to warehouse merch locally and ship it myself, which was going to depend on the car. So that whole merch plan is now completely thrown into disarray. This is basically at this point, everything is so thrown off. Like, there's no immediate crisis, but I can't keep doing what I'm doing and expect it to be fine.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been talking about that a bit. Side note, Sushi, you're freaking adorable. Thank you. I like the cute sushi, and then I've got piles of sushi, and then I don't particularly like sushi, but I think it's cute, you know?
Yay. I mean, there's probably food that I'd be happy to draw that I would not be happy to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that sort of thing.
Okay, so the alerts with the full messages have just come in. It doesn't look like there's anything at the end of those that I missed that I really need to...
Oh, Paleo cheered another 100 biddies. Thank you very much, Paleo. And for the resub, which I think I got talked over a bit.
Oh, sorry.
But I appreciate it regardless. It's okay. I mean, you know, Joe, you also have opportunity to speak on this stream.
Woo!
It's valid.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So you're good. You're good, Joe.
I'm trying. I'm trying to be good, Cleo.
I mean...
Oh, boy.
Even if you're not good, you're going to be all right.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a choice.
I have zero choice. I'm like an obnoxious paladin, basically. Oh my gosh.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Makes you hungry for sushi now. I mean, like I say, I don't particularly like sushi. I like drawing sushi. That's the difference. Although I did make a little sushi head on Hermitcraft, which is really cute.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah, one thing that I was gonna mention, that I learned this stream weekend. So I've been posting my weekly schedule as, like, part of a weekly newsletter. And it was really frustrating because for Saturday and Sunday of this weekend, I just had to put group event TBA because Ren hadn't announced the stream schedule yet.
The thing. Yeah.
And then when it went out on Thursday, the times were all wrong. And then...
Yes, it was.
And then
that is correct.
On Sunday, there was an emergency. And I'm not faulting anybody here. This is the reality of the situation that I'm trying to acknowledge. There was an emergency, and I had to switch slots with Jevin. Real quick, hey, we got 10 rolling in from Tabby Blackheart 315, who says, haven't been able to watch for a while due to a new job, but I hope your finances get better. Oh, thank you, Tabby. I appreciate it. Let me just rotate another 10 degrees. Okay, so what I realized is I need a better way to put my stream schedule up. And so I was like, what if I just put it on like joehills.net/schedule or something? And then I could just update it on the fly and people could always know. And then I was like, schedule is really hard to spell. What if it's joehills.net/soon? Right? And
okay. I'm not sure I would. Yeah, okay.
And so then people can just go there and find out when my schedule is. Like, most people won't. This is not something I expect all my viewers to do, but there are definitely people who get frustrated if it's like, hey, you announced you'd be live at this time and now you're not, you know? And I used to use Twitter to post updates about this stuff, but a lot of people left Twitter. So that's not helpful.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to take this in-house. But I realized that instead of maybe just putting the schedule up on that page in text, I can make an iCal calendar with my streams on it that are coming up and then embed that on there. So people can visit the site and view like an embedded calendar, right? But
yeah,
they can also then subscribe to that calendar and put it on their phones or whatever if they want to get alerts. Because people have also been asking me, they're like, the stream alerts aren't very reliable, right?
Choo-choo.
Oh, wait, choo-choo, where's the...
Choo-choo.
I don't know where the whistle is.
I was only I doing it quietly so I acknowledged it. You don't have to acknowledge it, Joe, I promise.
Table already. I'm getting the...
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you. I will go through this. I promise, chat.
Yeah. Mind of Me says, could you also embed that calendar along with the live video feed at your /live? Yeah, I could. I could. I think iCal is short for. I think iCal is like an international standard for calendar files. Like, I think that's the file extension, not the application.
I don't know. Joe died for the train whistle. Yeah, he did.
I died.
So thank you, Mini
for
Cheese.
It.
You did. Thank you for the Mini Cheese Mouse for the 29-month resub. Says 29. That's well. Also, I have new kittens. They're small and fluffy. Yay! Thank you. I like to hear about kittens. Bakura cheered Cleo biddies. Ishmael cheered biddies. Arturo Red resubscribed for 29 months and says 3.5% of an optimistic lifespan. And I've never seen the alleged cake. Oh, that's like you're doing months subscribed as part of your oh, I'm very sorry. Oh. Hypothermic Haddock cheered 100 biddies. Thank you. McLesley cheered Cleo biddies. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Yes, we also do need photos, but you're not allowed to post links in chat, so no. You can see what a bind I'm in.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, if I go to my calendars in Google Calendar and then like go to like settings and sharing, there's an option for like share with specific people or groups or share like more broadly.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a way to make a public URL for the calendar where other people could subscribe to it, where I could embed it. Yeah, iCal format the extension is ICS and it works in everything. So yeah, so I'm
thank you,
thinking
Cheese
about
Mouse, for the biddies. It says the corgi is closest to a kitten. Yeah, that's true. Although you do have access to my cat emotes, you could use those.
Yeah,
those are things you could use.
An option you have.
Okay.
Cameron says, I like having the graphic for offline.
Yeah,
update the Twitch one best I can, but Discord alerts are the most reliable for sure. Well, that's also only for people that use Discord, like which the people in my Discord community do, but some of my viewers don't. Like, you know, arguably, you know, if I look at how many people watch my videos or watch my streams, it's way more than there are people in my Discord. So I should have an option for outside of that. And a lot of, Microbird, who is in my Discord, says a lot of people disabled Discord notifications, so they only see pings when they open the app, which isn't necessarily what they want in this specific
I mean,
case.
you can do a specific channel for I'm going live now, and then they can unping, they can let that one ping them.
Yeah, but that's still like a lot of
I mean, I agree, it's still a pain.
Yeah. So Chloe the Great and Powerful writes, I would happily subscribe to a calendar. Yeah. Okay, yeah. And so the thing is, too, if this is the calendar that I'm using to keep track of when I'm streaming, I'm also going to be moving stuff around or updating it as I go. And so people will be able to see, you know, further out, like where the streams are, where they aren't, that sort of thing. So I think that that's going to be the most elegant solution long term.
I mean, yeah, that seems fair. I mean, if it works for you.
If it works for me, everybody's going to do it. I think I'm going to be a real trendsetter here, Cleo.
What, using calendars? I don't know.
Yeah, I think calendars might stick around. You know, I know a lot of people don't like them because of the Pope, but you know, like, I think that they might make it.
Upcoming stream section has 2+ streamer events on there that no longer stream. What? Hang on. I'm confused by that. I'm sorry, Echo. I apologize. Oh, that's a conversation with you. Oh, it's doing that thing again. Why is Greg so special that he gets a whole calendar?
Yeah, Joju says, I have a friend who posts graphics with stream times every Sunday. Well, that's the thing is, that's great if people aren't blind. You also have to create alt text for those graphics. And you have to, even if I created a template so I could generate those graphics quickly, there's a lot that goes into something like that. And if I was using Twitter still consistently, or if I felt my viewers were using Twitter consistently, that would be where I would post that. But the fact that Twitter is going away, now I'm like, well, where do I even post that graphic, right? You know, that's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you, pseudo microthorax dubious, microthorax dubious for the 5, rotating the camera to 56 degrees. Woo! Appreciate it.
So, like, the reason why I paused for a moment when you asked about Greg is one of my NPCs in the campaign that I'm running for D&D.
I had no idea what that was.
Yeah, so no, it's fine. It's just when people ask me about Greg, it's just sort of like Greg was a person that the party just like made up and hated because they're in a small village community and they're in the in group and Greg was in the out group, and I've made him, because they've got such a small party, I've made him party with them, and I've made him really nice and likable and like just a really decent dude, and it's just like, damn it, we like him now. So they got no one to pick on anymore. So yeah, no, that's just where my mind grows when people ask me about Greg.
Oh, there's a DMing concept one of my friends came up with called Better Steve. And the idea is if somebody in the party starts min-maxing too much, he'll introduce a person whose name is better that character's name, who groups with the party for a while and is also completely min-maxed but is like 3 levels higher. And so anytime that person's like, I'm going to do something really cool because I'm min-maxed, like, Better Steve, like, snipes them on it. But, yeah, let's see. Rex Verdi says, Rex here, I was thinking about how much I miss having a channel guide, being able to have alerts and cues for shows I want to watch. Having a calendar that was set for shows would be a boon. Yeah, that's a good point, is with the Twitch schedule, there's no way to say, Twitch, show me the schedule for all of the streamers I'm subscribed to at once. Let me see what my week of television looks like in the old TV guides.
That would be cool.
You have to go to each individual schedule page, right?
Right.
You know, now that I'm thinking about it, does the schedule page let you export as an ICS format? Like, do you update your schedule on Twitch?
I have my schedule on Twitch.
Okay, so how do I access that when you're live? Because when you're not live, it's like a big tab, but when you are live, I'm like, I don't know where it is. Grumble. Is it /schedule or something?
Might be. Could very possibly be.
Joe doesn't know how this works.
Click Cleo's icon below the stream.
Ah, thank you. I would not have thought to do that. Okay, so I go to schedule here. Ooh, wait. Oh, that's jump to week. I was going to say, there is a calendar icon, but that's not put this calendar on my calendar or my phone. There's a triple dot, but that's just report something else. Okay, yeah, so there's no way to export your feed and all these feed each as like ICS files and then track that.
No, doesn't look like it.
Okay. Well, good to know. Okay. A task says, I used to do that. I manually copy relevant streams to my own calendar, but it's very sensitive to stuff changing, though. Yeah, that's the thing I like about this, is if this is my calendar that I'm sharing from my phone to my web server, then when I update it on my phone, it'll get updated on the web server. So, like, me swapping with Jevin, I could have just updated in, like, 4 or 5 taps from my phone. If I'm running late for a stream, or if something, I don't have to write a whole tweet. I just tweak the time that the thing is happening, and people can see that if they care. And if they don't care, if they never cared, then that's fine, because I'm not spamming their Twitter either, right? Like,
right.
This really lets people determine their own level of involvement.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
There should be a site. I mean, possibly, yes.
Yeah.
AC Camper has resubscribed for 29 months. Thank you very much.
Ooh.
Very much appreciated. Oh. Ba, 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 ba. I don't know what I'm Blueska doing today, but today
because we
Blueska
can
do.
too.
We can too.
We can too. We can too. We can too.
That's a thing that happened. I don't know what the reference is, but that's okay.
Keep moving.
Also,
keep moving. It's Beatles, I think.
oh. Also, it does sound like you're in a rainforest sometimes.
Yeah, I've got the window open. We've had 2 days since my daughter left that have been nice enough to have the windows open overnight. Normally we would have a few, but because it's one of those things where it's either been insufferably hot or there's been wildfire smoke or both. And so it's like this has just been a terrible summer. But like, yeah, so I've got the window open so we can enjoy that.
My summer has been great. It has rained most days.
Yeah.
I appreciate rainy summers.
Yay. Keeps you cool at least. It's easier to stream.
Absolutely. Although I do have the fan on today. It's warm, but it's still chucking it down outside.
Yeah, I've got the overhead fan on, and then I've also got, well, today I don't have it, but some days when it's been super hot, I've had, like, ice packs wrapped in towels under my feet. Those help a lot. But, yeah, not really necessary today.
Nope. Wasabi. Wasabi. See you later, Kadarasha. Better rainy summer than a scorching summer. Honestly, like, I am not enjoying, like, sometimes it ticks over at the end of August into just ridiculous heat. I don't enjoy ridiculous heat.
No, I would imagine not.
Badger gets the wasabi. Wasabi.
Let's see.
Do I not have any more wasabi rolls? I do not. Okay. That's... What is it? That's shrimp?
Sushimi rolling. Da, da, da. Do, 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 do. Hey, welcome to Rhoda.
Help! Sorry. For those of you who don't understand what me and Badger are just are on about, look up Wasabi Child Help. And then you'll understand.
Was this
It's
on
the
Britain's
cutest
Funniest
thing.
Videos or something back in the day?
No, it's just an internet meme, Joe.
Okay, I don't know.
There is a small child that goes, "Do you want to try the wasabi?" And it goes, "No." "Are you sure?" "No." And then when the mother takes it away, she goes, "Wasabi." And then she gives her some wasabi, and I feel like that's cruel.
Oh no.
And all the little girl goes, "Help."
Oh no, it's too much.
It's so cute. It's the most understated distress.
Understated distress, the British method.
Well, let's count the link to the wasabi video.
Yep.
Wasabi. Cam coming in clutch once more.
Yeah.
It's a real metaphor for life. What understated distress. Yes.
Yeah.
Do not recommend giving your children wasabi. Also, do not recommend having children. That's just me.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. I get it, yeah.
In her parents' defense, she just tapped it to the kid's tongue. I mean, that's true. It wasn't just like a lot, but it's still wasabi, and the child was like 3.
Yeah.
I get it, it wasn't a lot. However.
You can hear the cicadas there, maybe.
Yep, that's why it sounds like you're in a jungle.
Yep, that's just...
We don't have them.
Maybe one day.
We're getting mosquitoes apparently at some point soon for me, thanks.
You don't have mosquitoes?
Not really, no.
What? Really? Wow.
I mean, they do technically exist.
Yeah, just not like everywhere,
But,
like every
like,
place.
yeah, like, you know, they like, I've never seen one. I've never been bitten by one. I've gone into the country loads. But yeah. Yeah, we used to have malarial swamps, but we don't at the moment, so.
We're taking a
We
break
don't
from
have
malarial
mosquito-
swamps.
Yeah, they're just last year. They're just passe.
Yeah.
Too much rain. I mean, too much moving. Like, we don't have a lot of swamp land or stagnant water at the moment because we've gotten rid of all our fens. So, you know, we have loads of mosquitoes. Cleo's the weird one here. That's entirely true. I think it depends on if you live near lakes and stuff. I've never lived anywhere near a lake. You just have neighbours who don't empty standing water. Well, that's grim.
Yeah, you can't really leave standing water around.
No. But yeah, like, we don't... As far as I'm concerned, I've never been bitten by a mosquito or anything. So... I'm accepting I might be the weird one here. That's been a story of my entire life, so it's fine.
That's fine.
Daughter's legs look like a war zone. I live near underground rivers and ponds, so yeah, that a bit. Have a subspecies in the tube that doesn't appear anywhere else in the world. See, London is weird. I've never lived anywhere where, like, it's been a thing. Never.
Infrared, visible, UV.
I also don't think that mosquitoes tend to go for me either, or any biting. Like, I don't get bitten by anything. So, have midgies and window nets for some. You see, I'm looking forward to window nets because that means that the cats can't go out.
Wait,
So,
you don't have
you know.
you don't have window screens.
No.
Oh, see, I thought Badger just didn't have window screens because, like, that building was particularly old or whatever. But I figured, like, new construction would have window screens.
Nope.
That was, like, a big public health thing here because of mosquito-borne illness. Like, back in the 30s, they were pushing for everybody to get window screens.
Just not a thing.
Really? Okay, yeah, because they've been a thing here for, like, 90 years nonstop.
I mean, like, the plan is the next time I have to deal with it to get, like, proper window screens. I only get bitten by ants, and I've never been bitten by an ant either.
Oh, wow.
See, here's the thing. I just don't think biting insects like my blood. I don't know why. I'm O positive. That's the universal one, isn't it? So
Yeah, it sounds delicious.
I think I'm delicious. Really, it's the mosquitoes with the problem, not me.
Clearly.
But yeah, no, I have been in situations where I've gone on holiday abroad with people and they've been eaten alive and I've been fine.
Yeah, same. I'm not particularly appealing to bugs. Let's just, yeah, keep that sentence going.
Feel
Joe,
free
I'm
to
not
stop it.
particularly appealing. It's like...
Yeah, finish that sentence. It's
Yeah,
fine.
Oh, it's fine. Okay. Oh my gosh.
You're right. You doing okay, Joe?
Yeah, I'm good. I went to bed early last night because I was completely
Not surprised.
exhausted. And so then I woke up at sunrise this morning, which was like
Yeah, of
5:45.
course.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'll do some reading, and then I'll do some the grocery store opens at 7, so I'll get dressed and I'll go grocery shopping. So I'm like waiting outside the grocery store when they unlocked it. And then yeah, because I was like, well, I've got to go do if I'm gonna be doing all this stuff on foot, might as well do it like when it's cool out instead of at noon.
Oh, absolutely.
Because that's one problem I've had the last few weeks is I'm like, okay, I'm trying to keep myself on a good sleep schedule even though my daughter's away. Because last summer, I was just like sleeping in super late, and it was really hard to get back in the groove in the fall. Whereas this summer, consistently doing the 8:30 a.m. streams has helped me stay roughly on track, But the problem is if I'm committed to doing an 8:30 a.m. stream every day, okay, I wake up at 7:15, 7:30, I do the stream at 8:30, and then I wrap up the stream, and now it's 11 a.m. and it's burning hot out. And I'm like, oh, now I walk to the... well, no, I shouldn't walk anywhere. I'll go wait for the bus. Oh, that's in the sun, too. Like
That's a problem. Yes.
Yeah. So it's just like, this morning I was like, well, I'm awake. I'm going to go get groceries before it scalds me to be outdoors in the humidity. But yeah, so if I'm a little bit yawny, it's just because I'm like, my body's a little off today.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be a little bit off.
Thank you for permitting it, Cleo.
You're welcome, Joe. You're welcome.
Badger Spanner says, mosquitoes are another reason that bats are a protected species in the U.S. and the U.K. because they eat mosquitoes that spread bloodborne disease. Yeah, that makes sense. Bats are pretty cool.
Yeah. I like bats. So long as they're over there. You know? It's like, bats over there are cool. Bats next to me, not
Yeah, like if
cool.
a bat gets in the house, it's like a whole thing to try and get it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially because our windows have screens, then you're like, okay, let open a window so it can fly out. Okay, well, now we gotta pop the screen. They're not really designed to be removed easily.
Oh, right, okay.
So then it's like, okay, can we get it out the front door? It's like, and by get it out, I don't mean like pick it up and carry it out the front door. It's like, can we shoo it toward the front door? Like,
I worry about things like picking up bats because there's... One, you shouldn't.
yeah.
Two, they're fragile.
Yeah, Badger says by law you're not allowed to touch bats in your house. You can only use sheets and towels. Yeah, no, in America, I don't know if it's against the law here to touch the bats, but in general, what people do is they'll try to open the door and then, like, wave with a broom. Not, like, hitting the bat, but just, like, create motion in the opposite direction of the door so the bat gets frightened toward the door, is the general... people try not to handle them even with towels. Melody
I would
Rainpod,
rather not touch a bat.
Yeah. Melody Rainpod says, hello, I'm just out of my first proper workday and already tired, so I'll just chill in here. Awesome, this is a great place to chill, Melody. Congrats on your first day at your new job.
Yay!
Quill says, general rule of thumb, don't touch flying things with your hands. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
smart. In general, very sound.
Accurate, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try this from the top, basically. Bum 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 bum.
Okay. Okay, Sushi September is go.
Sushi September. Go, go, go.
It's also suggested you get a rabies shot if you find a bat in your house.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between like seeing it fly in when you're carrying in groceries and like it's been in the house for 4 days. Like,
Yeah.
you probably didn't get rabies from the bat.
Oh,
that...
you mean in America? In America. Okay. We don't, as far as I'm aware, we don't have rabies here anymore. I'm pretty sure we got rid of that.
Yeah. Congrats. Okay.
But, you know, with all the migratory species...
Those are the best kinds of species. I love how quickly they move.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, I literally just... This is the problem with having... The reason I have green for all the French curves and stuff is because this clear protractor, I will put it down, and then I'll just lose it on my desk. Like, because if it's mixed in with the other things here, like, in like a pile like this, I'll just not see it.
Badger says, yes, we do. But it's something that's notifiable, and the reason why bat handlers like me have to get rabies shots.
Bat handlers getting rabies
Robots
shots.
in disguise. Sorry, no, that's different.
No, that is a little different. But, okay.
But I feel like it's valid.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I feel like this
Rabies shots are 20k, don't ask. Oh.
$20,000?
I'm sorry that you have experienced rabies shot. I'm not going to ask, but I think I understand.
That is a lot. I would not have guessed that. I
mean, neither would I, but I'm British. The concept of that is, it's a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
Okay, this thing that will definitely save your life if you've got rabies. 20,000, please.
Yeah. Rex says
rabies shots. Go on.
Have a higher body temperature than people, and the diseases they carry are really bad for humans. So good to know.
Rabies shots in the UK are £100. That's why I'm getting my booster before I get married. Good plan, Badger. Good plan. As plans go, one of your better ones.
Did I... Oh, the pencil case is in the other room. Okay.
Pencil cases in the other room. Oh, no.
Pencil cases in the other room. Oh, no. Okay. Cleo, can you cover for me while I go retrieve
Sure.
that? Okay. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, everybody in Joe's chat, or in my chat, because I genuinely don't know where Joe streams most of the time. Send me some questions, things that you want me to answer whilst Joe is absent for 10 minutes. It's probably not going to be 10 minutes, I'm going to be honest. Question time. Chop, pacey, pacey, let's go. Questions. Oh, Kaz resubscribed for 21 months, says 2 and a bit years. Let's go, indeed. How did you and Joe become friends? Okay, we were playing Super Hostile. The creator of Super Hostile got us in a group, and then Joe hasn't let me go since. I've tried. No, we've been like kind of like we kind of have our moments where we sort of drift off, and then we come back together, and then we drift off and then come back together, as life happens. But yeah, no, Would I rather fight 100 duck-sized horses? Can't get my sour beans, Braggondox. Not yet. Rather fight 100 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck. 1 horse-sized duck. Because 100 duck-sized horses can kick me to death. A duck-sized horse is not going to kick me to death. It's going to probably bite me to death. But at least it's only 1, and they've got long necks, so I can probably strangle it. Their necks are fragile. Next question. What is Super Hostile? Very early Minecraft thing. How do you think of creative things in your bullet journal? I go and steal other people's ideas. Well, not steal, just more sort of go, that's a cool idea. How would I do it? What do I need to add to my online grocery shop? Wasabi. Horses are evil and full of teeth. I mean, oh, a horse is all right. If I could have any limb attached to your body, what would it be? Do my current limbs count? Cake or burger? Ooh, cake, I think. I've got a very sweet tooth. Thank you, Cam. I was going to do it when Joe came back, but it requires me going away from the microphone. But yeah. Prehensile tail. Prehensile? I don't want a prehensile tail. I don't need one. I walk on 2 legs rather than all 4s. Would you rather find one bat-sized mosquito or one mosquito? A bat-sized mosquito. Like bats are small. I mean, unless you're talking about fruit bats, but bats are tiny. I could punch out a bat-sized mosquito.
Oh yeah. Oh sure.
What exotic pet would you want the most? Is it exotic? I don't know. I'd like a kangaroo. They're evil and buff. And it would kick me to death, but I really would like it. Mm-hmm. Professional artist or a professional pirate? I'm already a professional artist, and we have better healthcare than pirates. Super Hostile was great about 6 Minecraft updates ago. I think it's been more than that. I'm pretty sure the first Super Hostile was out in 1.0.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I mean, I was doing
a long time ago.
Super Hostile maps already were the biggest maps in Minecraft when I started making videos of them in June 2011. Because Zsco had been doing it for a while.
How did a geology degree turn into teaching? Funny story. That actually is one that leads on into the other. Oh. Or are you talking about academically? How does that work?
Like, do they let you?
Like in realistic times, I was a geotechnical engineer for a bit after my university degree. Went and did some work at a school, and then saw a teacher losing their mind at the children in school. And I thought I could do better, so that's how I went into teaching. But like academically, PGCE, that's an easy conversion. And also, it didn't help that it was chucking it down at the time whilst I was outside with the digger.
And you were like, I don't want to do this.
It's like I was just sort of like, I didn't want to be outside anymore.
I'm kind of done.
I saw someone losing their mind and thought, that's for me. Did you do better? I'd like to think I do better. I tend not to scream at children because, you know, that's bad.
It's so they keep telling me.
They keep on telling me it's bad, but...
Who can say really what's bad?
Yeah.
I mean, we're not philosophers.
I am not, in fact, a philosopher. That is correct. You've been wondering about that one for a while. It's not been a secret. I think if you Google Zombie Cleo, I think that story is actually on one of the many wiki pages that get my age wrong regularly.
Oh, those are fun.
Oh no, like it's also like the people that suggest I'm worth $5 million. Yeah, it's just like, how much is Zombie Cleo worth? Cleo is worth approximately $10,000 to $5 million. I'm like, that's a range.
Yep.
Which dollars? Not which dollar, because dollars, American dollars.
Yeah.
They confided in you. That means you did better. I mean, I don't know. I've known a lot of teachers, and I've seen a lot of teachers just lose their absolute minds at their class and thought, you know what? Now that I'm a teacher, I understand why that was deserved. However, there are better ways to handle it. And like sometimes losing your mind doesn't mean the teachers, that the children distrust you. It just means like sadly with some children, it's all they know. It's how you show love to those children sometimes by caring what they're doing. And you just gotta temper your approach to the child. But I don't like losing my mind, so I tried not to do that. So shouting just I have a voice to maintain. Googling stuff you to find stuff out about you feels weird, and I don't trust stuff on the internet. I'm on the internet. I'm telling you stuff. Woo.
Unreliable narrator. Woo.
I mean, like, I believe many things about myself. Not all of them are true, I think. Wow, geek, thanks. Losing your mind requires a mind to lose. Rude! I know what you mean. Don't worry about it. Like, here's the weird thing. You probably feel that way is because we've spoken in chat. But that stuff is out there about me, and like the funniest part is like most of it's not true. It's one of those things. It's weird. I love listening to Cleo, sure, but believe it, nah. Crocheted zombie kangaroo or normal kangaroo for a gift? I mean, if you're gifting it to another person, normal kangaroo all the way, because I think it's funny. But zombie kangaroo for me personally, and the reason why is because I can't have a kangaroo. See, you just confirmed it. Like, Nikki, just because
Who
most
says
of it's
you can't have a kangaroo? I didn't.
I mean, I'm
vote for
pretty
him.
sure the law says I can't have a kangaroo.
Okay, well, I'm a little dubious.
I mean, it also says I can't have a tiger.
Ah,
I know, right?
this is. I'm hearing a lot of nonsense here that I'm not sold.
I'm not sold either. So,
Yeah.
I know what you mean about being a teacher myself. You make my day. Teachers get it. Like, honestly, like, any teacher who is like, say, like, bigging themselves up for this stuff, it's like, you're not being realistic. Teaching is hard, but you gotta give it your best, because otherwise you're gonna feel like poo, and the kids are gonna feel like poo, and then you all feel like poo, and that's poo. You heard it here with Cleo.
Cleo knows what's what.
Cleo knows many things.
Spinner.
What if Cleo's streaming company would also register as a zoo?
Yeah. Okay, that's actually sound.
I could, like, register it. I could make a new one that would register as a zoo, but I'd also have to have, like, legal permits and stuff. Giant kangaroo, wallaby, or marla. Oh, like, in a zoo that's not too far away from me, we have wallabies, like, on the hills, because they broke out of the zoo at one point, and they just breed in the wild now.
Well, that's good for them.
So it's just sort of like, invasive species.
Yeah.
Completely unrelated to the topic at hand. Your cursive script is gorgeous. Thank you. I was a teacher. That helps. Trust me. And this is how I'm going to write the name on my cards when they come out. In cursive, because it's easier.
Oh, I'm definitely
Honestly,
doing
the
mine in
name...
cursive.
Honestly, like, that is going to be the signature there. You know? Probably small, probably like that. But that is the easiest thing to write. So it's going to be that. When you get cursive down, it's so much faster to write. Yeah, like, you're not wrong. Speaking of nice handwriting, doctors think I should get writing classes when they study medicine. Yeah, well, most of our scripts are printed now, so it doesn't really make much of a difference.
No, it'll be fine. It's all on tablets. Tap, tap, tap.
Like, here, some people own raccoons. If one gets away, they get shot on sight to remove the potential for the issue. Aww. You forgot it was Wednesday? Ugh. Honestly, fair. I have that feeling as well. I forget many things. Handwriting is currently a weird mix between cursive and print. I used to print for a very long time. It wasn't until I started teaching that I had to do the thing with cursive. So how many weeks am I doing this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6. We're getting through a switch to the computers now, so you'll have to deal with the wonderful writing sometimes. Yeah. My teacher had very neat handwriting with small caps. I used to like my handwriting used to so it used to be this. Like it was used to be that, but sort of more squidged together. But now I can't do that anymore. To learn cursive in elementary school, but allowed to drop it in secondary. I don't think you're allowed to do that here. I mean, like it's presentation is part of your grades, really. So, you know. Now I can't do. Well, that took a lot of effort to do. I can do that, but it's a pain to do. Whereas was so much faster, and that's my scrawl when I'm doing it quickly. Had to use a cursive pen for our pen license, but it never mattered past that. Pen licenses being a thing is hilarious to me.
Hey, it's Golden Tetrapod's birthday, apparently. Feliz cumpleaños, Sati. Feliz cumpleaños, Sati. Feliz cumpleaños a Golden Tetrapod. Feliz cumpleaños, Sati. Y muchas más. But what's a pen license? I don't know what that is. Pen license?
Oh, basically, until you write nicely, you have to write with a pencil in the UK.
Oh, like so that's something like you get to you have to get a pen permit.
Yeah, at school. At school, it's one of those things that encourage children to write cursive.
Interesting.
I mean, it's not an official thing, but it's pretty
like
much
some in
universal
schools,
in schools. Yeah. Pen license in Australia too. Thank you, Lily. Appreciated. You get enough XP to unlock the pen skill, pretty much. Same in Canada. Cool. No matter how hard I tried, my handwriting never got better. There were some kids that were like that. So, pen license not a thing in 90s. Well, it wasn't a thing in 80s and 90s England either. So, you know, it's all relative, really.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, there isn't a pen license. It's a made-up thing, guys. It's not an official thing. Like, there aren't adults going, I can only write in pencil because I never got my pen license. That's not a thing.
Yeah, it's not like a forklift license where like you can really get in trouble.
Yeah, it's a thing teachers made up to make their kids write in cursive. And they get a prize if they got good enough to get the pen license. Which, once again, not a real thing. It's an endorsement on your driver's license.
Yeah, somebody says they're just indoctrinating the silly needing a license for everything into people early.
I don't think that's true either, but, you know, it is.
Yeah.
It's just a thing to encourage children to reach the academic standards that are set for them by the government.
Yeah, reach those standards.
I mean, that's how grading works. I'm sorry. I know in America grades aren't standardized the way they are here.
No.
So, like, the worst part of teaching is inter-school moderation.
With that, like,
Having
making the
people-
grade standardized?
Yeah, like, you had to go to, like, you had to standardize it first across your department. And then you have to get pieces of your work moderated by other schools.
Whoa.
And you had to do the same for theirs. And it's like, it's the worst part.
I
It's
don't
just sort
want
of
that.
like, no, it was a case of, it's a good practice thing.
Yeah.
I agree, making sure that everybody's grades across the country are the same. But I don't want to have to tell another person who I probably know because teaching is so inbred. Yeah, you gave that person a 4. Really? They're a 6. That's the worst feeling.
Dun, 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 dun.
Children in grade 7 can never learn cursive in school at all. They did have to learn to type properly though, which is arguably probably a better skill for the future. As long as they learn to write, I don't really have an issue with that. There was a scandal with union admissions here because the school in the next town over was marking easier than most others in the area. Yep. After school typing courses, God. Times have changed.
Yeah,
Times they are a changing.
yeah, now they're going to have like iPad tapping courses.
You say that like that children need teaching that.
No, they
That's
don't.
something they pick up
I'm
at home.
joking. Okay.
Honestly, stopping the kids tapping on iPads is the trick.
That's the real challenge, yeah. Oh, I bet. Oh, boy.
The thing that annoys me is that, like, if a child is poorly behaved and then you speak to the behavioural experts, it's just sort of like, well, when they're good, they should get iPad time. What about the other 15 children? Well, sorry, 15. 29 children in my class who are good all the time.
No, that's what always makes my kid mad. She's like, this other kid misbehaves so often that they've started giving him nice things for doing the bare minimum in terms of behavior. And it's like, I always do more than the bare minimum, and I don't get to do what I want. Like, what's up with that?
I agree, and it's annoying, and I understand why it happens. It doesn't make me feel better about it.
Yeah. It's not great.
Like they get much more time with the teacher as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, the teacher doesn't want to spend more time with them, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
Teacher would rather not. Because most of the time they're in during break times, and you don't get a break. And and my problem was I got told I was the naughty child whisperer.
So
you know what that means?
you
I
get all
never
of
got a
them.
break. I got to talk to everybody else's children.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they so good for you?
Because I
I
treat
don't
them
know.
with respect.
I just treat them like they're people.
Mm-hmm.
Can you send us crochet gift? You cannot send me a crochet gift because it will not reach me ever. And I don't think Joe has a PO box either. But I appreciate the thought.
No. P.O. Box is part of the warehouse plan. And the warehouse plan and the merch store plan all depended on the car. So everything... I'm taking a few weeks to resort everything. I'm going to figure this out. By my meeting on the 19th. But right now, it's a mess. Sorry.
Yeah, everything is a lot. But we appreciate the offer.
Yeah, I'm grumbled.
Working out what's setting off the automod is like solving a cipher. I don't know, like, blame, like there are some that are specific to my channel. Like, Mom, for example.
Yeah, and there's some specific to my channel, like content. Because I kept getting these bots rolling in and be like, promote your content, blah, blah, blah. And I just, like... Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have time to deal with 8,000 bots. But I also realized that 90% of the people that call what I do content were ruder than the people that called it my show. And so I was just like, this actually improved the attitude of the entire chat. So...
I mean, I don't think you call it content unless you're, like...
It feels like...
in the industry, as it were.
It feels like calling it data. Like, technically, you could describe the videos I make as data. Like, hey, Joe, the data you put on YouTube is a lot more interesting today. But, like, more people are downloading the data you upload to YouTube than usual. But that feels like it diminishes what I do? You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. I don't like the term content. It's so non-descriptive. I mean, it's like... I hate describing myself as a content creator.
I don't describe myself as one. I'm a...
Yeah, I know, but other people...
self-employed artist and entertainer.
Yeah. If someone says content, I assume they tend to exploit the content creator. Everything is content. No, disagree. That is why you never see my face.
Mm-hmm. Well, and also, I mean, if you... Like, there's a long history of content creation. If you go back to, like... Originally, a lot of this stuff was just even verbal. Like, the Torah wasn't written content. It was originally, you know, spoken word. And then eventually somebody wrote it down. And then there's more modern content creators like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, who their parts of the Bible were written originally. You know, like, content creation has changed a lot over time, but I feel like it's too vague an umbrella term to use in most contexts.
Correct. I'm not responding to that one.
That's fair.
Just seems to be... Yeah, no, that's fair. My female parent has tiny writing because she won a competition for writing on the back of a stamp at school. Oh my goodness.
Wait, did she win the competition because she had tiny writing, or did the creation of the competition inspire her to say, I wonder how small I could write, and it set her on a journey of discovery? I'm not sure about the cause and effect here.
Neither am I.
Yeah.
And that concerns me.
Yay. That's always a good sign when you've just given up.
I honestly, Joe,
Yeah.
that's what we call weekdays.
Yeah. Okay.
The definition of content is happier, but content is stuff. She wrote the Lord's Prayer twice on a stamp.
Wow.
Less content, more contentment. Easy for you to say if it's not your job. I am been waiting on getting my video sorted for weeks at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Because my brain has been struggling to process things, so I feel like it's all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
But now I know what I'm doing. I've got to speak to Fulton, I've got to speak to Jev. Fulton speaking to on Thursday. I think maybe I can probably bash things out with Jev on Thursday and have a video by Friday.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually gotten a video out each of the last 2 weeks because you're doing that pirates thing. I forced myself to just put everything on my laptop and go to the library where I don't connect to the Wi-Fi on the laptop. I still respond to email and Discord or whatever on my phone, but that way I've got the video running in a window that I'm never overlapping with email or anything else, and I can just focus on it instead of looking around my apartment and being like, oh, I gotta do this before my kid gets back. Well, let me just start this. Oh, I'll get this going in the back. Oh, let's do this laundry. Oh, it's just there's too much stuff. I'm too far behind on everything, so I need to start prioritizing. So, yeah, I've been having a lot of success with that, fortunately.
That's good. I'm glad that's helped. Okay. I think I am about done.
Okay.
How are you doing?
I'm in a good...
Do I live with Joe? No.
We are on the phone. You might not understand this, but these days you can talk to people via electronic communication over long distances. I know that's confusing. But yeah, no, I think I'm about ready to wrap up. I've got some errands I need to run and stuff too.
Yeah.
Before it gets too hot out. Luckily, it's a relatively cool day, so I want to take advantage of that while I can. So,
yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah, let me see. Usually, Cleo and I kind of break into our own chats and say goodbye to our streams solo.
Yep.
Anything else we need to go over before we go, Cleo? I think we're
good. I think we're good.
It's always a treat. Thanks, Cleo.
Yep. I'll see you later, Joe. Bye.
Bye. And then for my chat, okay. So we're gonna go see if Quinn is streaming at twitch.tv/redactedhills. I'm not sure. Quinn might not be streaming today. Might be, though. Okay, nope. So, in that case... I mean, rating across services is kind of a nightmare anyway. If you want to, Pearl and iCal are both streaming. You can go check one of those out. iCal's doing Vault Hunters Arcade Day 2, and Pearl is on Sage 5, whatever that means, in Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know what the sages are yet. I don't want to get spoiled, so I'm not going to go watch. But either way, you can go check out one of my friends on their channel. Yeah, I see that Quinn isn't live. I was just checking. But anyway, where was I? My brain. I need to call it morning and go get some work done on some other things. Still, yeah. Okay. Way to finish strong. Okay. It was a whole day yesterday. Today's going to be kind of a catch-up day. So, I'm going to go. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.